Okay, Coach Jones here, Roma Martial Arts, and
Coach Danny.
So the move we're working on right now is mount escapes, and in particular a bridge and roll. So this will be a long video. It's the first one of the bridge and roll because it teaches a lot of the concept, and we're going to show a lot of the bridge and roll and mount. So if I'm going to crush Coach Danny, so we're here in mount. Most people are familiar with this position. If you've got older brothers and sisters, you've probably seen this before. This is probably one of the most common positions that people know, and it's where you just sit on the person. So a couple things from here is we're going to learn about managing distance, because there's different distances that someone can be at. So I could be up high, I could be throwing punches from here, I could be trying to strangle somebody, all kinds of stuff. The most common things that people think they can do from here, what are some things that people think they can do?
A lot of people think they can just punch back, and if you show this...
Yes, and she's got really long arms, and if I go up, it gives me more distance to generate more Donkey Kong power, and she can't touch me.
Another thing, if you are a female, and a lot of the girls think that this is going to be the #1 move, they're going to like knock the person across the room, anything like this, is they're throwing elbows or something like that, you know where.
Yeah, some people say elbows to the leg, which isn't that bad. Some people say hit the groin or do something to the groin. I always like to say that if you were, like, especially for guys, like if you've ever been hit there, are you just like, oh, okay, kittens? Or you're like, ooh, I feel like hitting something. What can I hit? Oh, I'm so mad. So she's not in a position where she wants to start a striking match. Because, like we mentioned, she can't hit me from here. She also doesn't have gravity on her side or body mechanics. If she has her arm like she's trying to wind up, the ground's there, so she can't hit hard either. It's just like spaghetti arms. The top person has gravity, all kinds of stuff they could do. And people say like, oh, bite, this and that. If I wanted to, I could put my thumbs in her eye sockets and just push to the ground, just to demonstrate that, Game of Thrones style. The elbows to the legs, that's a thing. Any of that stuff is just inviting a striking match, and you're not in a position where you're gonna do any good with that.
Even when it comes to knees, a lot of people say, oh, I'll just knee them in the hips or something like that. But if you see where I'm actually hitting, I'm hitting with the top of my leg right now. So it's not even my legs or my knee.
Yeah, her thigh will kind of like hit me in the back. So some stuff. What is some stuff that we can do? The first thing that we're going to learn, there's a lot of things, and it's all about options and having a lot of options to choose from, because not everything works all the time. The first one that we're going to do is a bridge and roll. So anything else with this?
I think that's basically it right now. Let's
we'll show the bridge and roll right now. So we'll do it from here. Hoo-yah! Karate chop. So we'll set back up from the bridge and roll. A couple things that we're doing. The first one that we do, she can grab my arm anytime. Like right now, oh, there's my arm. Sometimes I like to show, like, if somebody's sitting on top of you just trying to strangle you. It's the same thing that you can do if I like had her shirt or something, or I was grabbing her here or pushing on her arms, or I had my forearm in her face. She can still trap, and it's the same thing. So it's the same trap. And then the big motion that we're doing is the bridge and roll. So just to break it down a little bit, can you walk through some things that you're doing?
So one thing I want to do, I want to be able to trap the arm. It is ideal if I'm able to break down their posture a little bit by pulling in on the elbow. Major thing is the trapping the foot over here, and then the bridging. That's the main thing. So I want to be bringing my hips up to the sky. Notice I'm not going up just on my neck right here. I want to actually go up on my shoulder instead this way. Now you'll notice Coach Jones is able to post out with his hand. If I just keep going at this angle, I'm actually still able to knock him over. So I'm up on my tippy toes, bridging right over, getting to my knees, just like you're a cat. You always want to get up to here. If I stay over here, we call this the floppy fish, and what do you think he's going to do? He's going to hop right back on top. So I want to get to here, trap the foot, trap the arm, and the bridge, roll, get to my knees, and then from here, karate chop, get out of there.
So if Coach Danny gets mount on me, I'll go through some of the other most common mistakes. When you're grabbing, one detail to have is when you grab, is your elbow down. The reason why is because if my elbow is where her knee is, it makes it so that she can't get her leg up, and it's going to give me space so that I can trap. If say her knee goes way into my armpit, I can't trap her leg now. So that's one small detail. Grabbing the wrist, hand behind the back. Also, that way if she's trying to pull her arm backwards, it's going to be challenging. I just need to keep her arm. I got my elbow in low. When I block the foot, if you're gonna point your knee anyway, you wanna point it outward. If you have your knee pointed in, sometimes people do that, it's gonna mess you up for your bridge and roll. The other detail is my foot on the other side, I wanna have in between her feet and close to my tailbone so that when I bridge, I can get up. If my foot is on the outside, this is more if people know what they're doing. She can kick a grapevine with this side, and if I'm trying to bridge, it takes away my bridge. So I want to keep my foot tight. I'm going to bridge, get my big head out of the way, go up over my shoulder, and then roll right over. Another detail is the biggest mistake, common mistake that people do is they log roll. So if Coach Danny shows a log roll, like the most common thing that people do, is they just kind of log roll, and that's how they get up. Another one is they will bridge up and over and then fall to their side. So they'll just kind of fall and then get to their knees. You want to go right from your hips to the sky to your knees. So I want to go right from my hips to the sky to my knees and then up, so that I can get out of that position. Good. Just showing that right there. This is something that you could shadow box on your living room floor. You can do by yourself, just that bridge, and then getting up to your feet correctly, and then you can add a partner in. And just one thing with partners is always, when you're practicing, make sure that practice is practice. I talk about batting practice or treating it like other sports practicing. Make sure that you're letting your partners practice. When your guys are actually sparring or rolling, don't let anybody do anything. So that is the first move that we're learning. We'll show one more time. So is a bridge and roll from high distance, where I'm up like this. You can grab it anyway, or maybe I'm strangling her, and she's just gonna block, trap and roll. So here we go. And that's it. All right. Those